Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Kicking off the Tinker Day, going to do the brakes on Lil'Red. This front one's almost worn out and I'm not on the flat ground, so I'm going to put some wheel stops behind the car. I got the emergency brakes work, I got those set. Let me get this wheel off and start on this side real quick. Got this side done. Achy Bono, boys, with the brake lube. Gotta go ahead and finish it up. This may be the next car I do the cylinder head on. I see that screw's missing out of there. I need to get one of those. Her strut mounts, IPD, are starting to tear. They've been in there a few years now, 4 years. Her coolant bottle is getting dark, probably because I don't have a heat shield over the turbo. I gotta get that installed. And her coolant bottle is decaying. I see micro cracks in it. Probably get a new one of those. Let me check her oil and close her up and finish up on removing that cylinder head so I can get that cylinder head installed next day. It's showing 2 quarts low on this heel, so it's at least 1.5 quarts low. I'm going to go ahead and put 1.5 quarts in it. Also notice her battery. She just had this replaced. I had the people at Walmart replace it for some reason. And it don't look like they got that post all the way down. So I'm probably going to loosen that up. Try to tighten that down a little bit. Boy, I just checked the oil filter. Said this oil was changed at 238. She's got 254. 16,000 miles on the oil change. Probably hadn't been changed since I replaced the engine. It's been about 1.5 years ago. So I'm going to have to change the oil on this thing pretty soon. She's burning 1 quart a week. She's probably put 2 quarts every 500 miles in this thing. So probably no harm getting so much fresh oil, but I need to replace it anyway. So I'll do that somewhere around Christmas. I think the last thing I got to do on this thing is pull the head bolts out. I couldn't find my breaker bar to put my cheater on. This thing here, the handle's too fat to put the cheater on it. I don't like wearing myself out pulling on this stuff, so I went and bought another breaker bar. Actually, I bought one of the Craftsman one from Lowe's, but man, that thing was 35 bucks. These at Home Depot was 23 bucks. Then these at Home Depot was a special for 25 bucks. So I'm gonna put this one on there and try it. And my cheater will slide over both of those. So let me go ahead and pull these head bolts out. Pop that head off and replace the valve stem seals on that cylinder head I have for it and get that thing installed. I need to hopefully have this thing running by noon tomorrow. I was told by the people at Home Depot that this was some kind of Black Friday special. I got it on clearance for 24 bucks. It did a decent job in breaking those bolts loose. However, when I had it locked in the ratcheting removal position, whether it's left or right, I think it was left, when those bolts snapped loose, this thing snapped over to the center position. So to ratchet it, I had to reset it to the left. Just a note, it worked. It was good, wasn't perfect, but I'm glad I got it. I didn't need to put my cheater on there. I just leaned with that, and I don't feel like I stressed myself too much. So let me grab Harry there and rip these bolts the rest of the way out, pop this head off. Wow, look at these spark plugs came out of Betsy. That's some real rich running stuff. I don't know if it was used mainly for very short trips, that's why it was running so rich, or if those plugs have been in there forever. They don't really look worn out, but they are black from running rich. So I'm going to get some new plugs for this thing. Try to get some Volvo ones. I placed the order tonight, might have them in, or I might just go by Nordic and get a set. That idle air control valve hose is toast as well. I had to get another one of those. That thing's got cracks and everything. Could have been running rich because the intake manifold was leaking and not that tight. But anyway, we'll get it all settled. Time to clean this table off and pull these valves out of this head for this GLT, the donor car, and lap them, and then change the valve stem seals in them and get them installed. So, need to get this table cleaned off, get those valves pulled, lap them, change the valve stem seals. Let me get cracking on this because I am wasting time. So I found this storage container that I brought back from Albuquerque, and I forgot that I put everything I needed in there with my homemade cylinder head rebuild kit. Now, I misplaced my Volvo tool in one of my toolboxes. I gotta find it. I thought it was in the same compartment that my VST was in, but it's not. I moved it. I gotta figure out where I put it. In the meantime, I got this 8-inch C-clamp that does better than the other tool that I have. The other valve removing tool I have, the thing is bowing on me. And it's making it a little bit difficult. So I'll use this, that, maybe put one of those on here instead of this plastic one. But I took all these keepers out of all the valves. So now I can just pull the springs and the valve retainers with my magnet. And then I'm going to pull all these valves out. And then I'm going to look for my pliers to remove all my valve stem seals. I'm going to lap all the valves. I got grinding compound here. Then I got the flaws for the exhaust manifold gaskets. And I got a couple exhaust studs. I need to get those soaking in PB Blaster out of the car. Then I got a couple of water pump bolts for the thermostat housing thing. I got a brand new thermostat. So anyway, I'm going to get this thing back together as quick as I can in the morning and start installing it on the car. I got 2.5 hours left on this head. Maybe I'll get on it early. I'm going to post a video, then get this thing started. But I'm putting new valve stem seals in here. It's a shame to have a head off and not do new valve stem seals, especially when we checked these a few weeks ago and seen how bad these were. So let me go ahead and drop these out. It's 9 p.m. I'm done for the day. I'm going to go have me a slice of sweet potato pie and put this head together tomorrow. And man, the cam journals ain't even damaged on this one. I got this one out of the white car I purchased. Now, I'm assuming that this is some kind of warranty seal that a company that rebuilt the head, or they cleaned it, made it true. They did everything but replace the valve stem seals. They got the carbon, or else the previous owner got the carbon off of the, man, these valves are a little tight in this seats too. They got all the carbon off of the valves, but they did take some of the carbon off the bottom. But let's see if they got the carbon off these stems too. No, they didn't get the carbon off these stems. So I'm going to pull these valves, get the carbon off the stems, put new valve stem seals in. Man, I'm almost starting from scratch with this thing. I didn't know they had carbon on them because the one I pulled out before, intake valve, was clean. Exhaust valves still have carbon on them. I had to get that cleaned off of there. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to call it a night and jump on this first thing in the morning. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.